Hey, hey. Hi, Sky. How are you? Gonna wait for some more people to come in. I have some pretty cool things to show you guys from Mary. I went to watch um, the interview with H, the uncut version, and we were discussing some things back and forth between. This was on the Lab 2.0's chat, by the way, and it was pretty interesting to see that Mary had responded to what I was saying. And I kind of wanted to get everyone's opinion on this. So give me just a second. Let's have some more people come in and then I will show you what she said. Hi, Andrea. Everyone, please make sure that you like this live and subscribe if you haven't already. Guess who? That's funny. Yeah, I don't see the point in getting all extra, if you will. Um, it's not my cup of tea. It's not how I roll. But kudos to those who do, I guess. I guess I'm more of the boring side of, you know, YouTube creators. But that's okay. It's good to be boring sometimes because there's a lot of chaos out there right now and we need some calm before the storm, I guess. Update, by the way, I am uploading a video here shortly about Kayla Montgomery, the stepmother of Harmony Montgomery. Her mother, Stephanie Lubin, she actually filed a restraining order against Adam back in July of 2021. So that was interesting to find, and I actually have the restraining order on the video. So you guys go check that out after the live and let me know what you think in the comments. And again, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Um, Give me about 1 minute. I'm going to let a few more people come in. Yeah, thank you, Shannon. I don't think that I'm boring either. I don't want to go down that path of outrageousness. It's uncalled for. These are missing children. They deserve a good voice and not a disrespectful or negative, dramatic coverage like we've seen. All right, so give me just hey, wait, my planties, woohoo! How are you? Glad you're here. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go get a coffee refill and use the ladies, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm going to adjust some settings here. And has anybody seen the Uncut interview with H? That was crazy. I watched a little bit of it on J is for Justice and the Lab 2.0, and it's kind of amazing. What we didn't get to hear at the beginning when they first started rolling out. What do y'all think about? What are some of the things that you noticed when you heard all of the extras that we didn't get the first time? I want to watch it like 3 more times. There's so much to catch. It's you're right. Like, I have ADHD pretty bad, and sometimes I if there's a thought that's going on about a specific part of the interview, I have to pause it or I'll lose it. Or I'll go on to these like 2-hour thoughts about that one thing and jump around, and then I lose it and can't remember it later. So it's very annoying. But the one thing that I did catch was Jays for Justice caught this too when Hunter said that he was giving a heads up to Allie that Candace was going to call her about Summer missing. That kind of struck a little odd to me. Like, why do you need to call Allie? I know that her phone was off and dead in the car, and then he called her on Facebook. Well, if her phone's dead, what does it matter if it's on Facebook or um, calling her actual phone number? Because they're all on the same device, right? Or did she have another device? Was there more than one? Was there an iPad or some kind of Galaxy Note? I don't know. So that just kind of struck me as weird. Went my planning says water park and showing up as late as 10:30 both bothers me, but I think Allie acted odd when water park was being talked about. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It everything really bothers me when it comes to Allie's mannerisms and man bun grandma's mannerisms when Hunter's speaking. It's like code work, right? There's a lot of code going on in the background. So that's just my opinion. Give me about 30 more seconds. I've got to add a few things. I am using all different sorts of new technology to make these lives better for you guys. Doing the best that I can with the limited amount of technological training that I've had. And I'm also a mom of a toddler and a wife to a man child. So you could probably imagine that my time is limited, but I will still do everything that I can to make sure that I get better at these lives because I don't want to be the one that doesn't know what she's doing, right? Nobody wants that. Okay, almost there. So I'm pulling up some of the chat responses that I screenshotted during the Lab 2.0's review of the interview room's uncut version. All right, and I just think this is very interesting. All right, let's do this. Does everybody see me? Hello. Let me know if you see me. Speaking of man-child, my husband just called me. I always tell him, look, when I'm doing a live, text me because I might not be able to respond. What does he do? You guessed it, calls. Awesome. Okay, so let me take off this comment. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up in here now. So this was the first comment. I'm going to hide this bad boy. I think y'all all know that I'm True Crime with EVP, right? If you don't, I don't know what to tell you on that. Okay, so as I was watching it, Mary, the sister, I think stepsister, yes. Candace called Donnie's sister 2 days after Summer went missing and told her that CPS was coming the day Summer went missing. Now, what does that tell you? That's interesting. I mean, we knew that, right? But Candace called, I guess, Jeannie, I would assume, or is it Sonia? That's just funny to me that, why would you even say that? Why would you even tell her that? Why wouldn't you just keep it on the low like you have been this whole time? Right? What does she know? Karen Henderson says, what bothers me is why would a 15-year-old boy asking someone why is he calling and why would he be suspicious of anyone at that time to look in their phone for something? I agree. I absolutely agree with that. It's odd, to say the least. So CPS has not been talked about very much when it comes to Dawn and Candace during any of their lives or any of their phone conversations or any time that they go onto a panel. They don't even discuss it with Benny Keys, the PR team, I guess. So that's interesting to me that you wouldn't even say anything at all, right? Why? We don't know. We can't know the details, obviously, of CPS. But, I mean, you could just say, hey, we had some incidences. Somebody called. It was a bullshit call. Make something up. But you can't even say, yes, CPS was called and we're handling it. It has nothing to do with her disappearance. Like you would want to clear yourself. Or would that be incriminating? Would that be incriminating for you to say that CPS and her disappearance, there's no involvement in that? There's no direct correlation. All right. So anyway, she says that, and that got, we all obviously know that CPS was going to come out the day that she went missing. And then I said, where is it? Not that one. Hold on, I'm going to find it. Did I screenshot the wrong one? I hope not. Oh, I did. Anyway, I say, I wonder if we help solve Rose Bly's murder, maybe the way that she disappeared and who did it would be helpful in finding how possibly how Summer got gone, you know? And I've always felt that way. I've always felt that if we focus on Rose Bly, we might have a good chance of understanding what happened to Summer Wells. And she says, sometimes I wonder if Donnie had something to do with Rose's disappearance. Just a thought. That's huge to me, right? Like that's a big deal for her to say that potentially Donnie may have had something to do with Rose's disappearance. I mean, why would you say that? Let me catch up with the chat. Pretty big thing to say about your own brother. No kidding. Farmer to Win says, this case makes me feel like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Don't know which way to turn. You said it just perfectly. I have to agree. I'm not one to always just want to speculate and then throw unanswered questions out there. I want to focus on the inconsistencies that can be proven to be inconsistencies, right? Or at least severely questions enough to where you go, that ain't right. That isn't adding up. So for Mary to say that, y'all, and I would love for her to come on panel if she ever wanted to, if she's watching. I don't want her to think that I'm trying to um, throw her under the bus or anything or try to be ugly. That's a big deal. Sometimes she wonders, and she has the right to wonder. She has the right to her opinion. It's just a thought, but let's dive into the facts of, Rose Bly's case. So I'm going to pull up, obviously, the FBI, what they have said about Rose Bly's case. I did see on a comment once that Jeannie passed her lie detector test twice. She passed it twice when the FBI asked her about the disappearance of Rose Bly. I responded to, what about grandma? I never got any response on that. Not even in the slightest. So I don't know if that means she just didn't see it or she doesn't know, but silence is kind of key here. Like, did she pass it? Did she even take one? So I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think that Grandma Candace had something to do with Rose Bly's disappearance, or do you think that it was something else unrelated? Oh, Lady R, we're not going to bash anybody here. This is, we're just trying to think of new things or inconsistencies to possibly help find tips or, have someone come on and say, no, that's not true, and clarify, the error. Because look, I can guarantee you TBI and the FBI are watching these videos. If they don't, they're silly. I hope that you're watching this, Jennifer states, I think that it's very interesting that Chris is getting on Rose's case too. I think that he might have the same thoughts as I do, right? That Rose, maybe not obviously the connection between Rose and Summer because it was so long in between their disappearance, but how they disappeared. What were the details behind why Rose disappeared versus Summers? Where did they put Rose? Whoever that may be, would they mimic the same way to Summer's disappearance? Those are very important questions and totally logical. To me, drug addicts and criminals tend to repeat the same mistakes or tend to repeat the same things that work for them because going outside of that norm, they fuck up. Excuse my language. They mess up. So addicts usually tend to do the same things over and over. That's what that's literally the definition of insanity. And in the AA book, insanity is doing the same things over and over, expecting different results. So, yeah. Heather says Grandma is totally guilty. They all are. You think, Lady R, you think Andy knows something? Wow. If anybody wants to, join, let me know. I'm going to put the link in the chat and pin it. Of course, I am going to make sure that the person that's coming on goes backstage and shows their camera, because I surely don't want some cuckoo-maney weirdo coming on here and being ugly. But I will, ask you to show your camera, state who you are, and then, if you want to come on and talk about some, ideas or theories about anything related to Summer Wells today, please do. Cool. Yep. Again, feel free to jump on. So yeah, I just really wanted to not seem crazy when I did a community post that, hey, look, Mary said that sometimes she thinks that Donnie might have something to do with this. So we're going to dive into what the FBI has stated lately about the case. And I'm going to try to find that comment about Jeannie stating that she passed the lie detector twice with Rose Bly's case through the FBI, 2 lie detector tests. Because the story is that Rose Bly's ex and Jeannie had a fling in between the break between Rose and him. And that happens, guys. That happens in BFG or BFE, Bumfuck Deep Egypt, I think it's called. Anyway, it happens. I'm from a small East Texas town. You'd be surprised what goes on. It's kind of weird. All right, let me get Rose Bly's FBI thing here. Not much has been discovered, obviously. I'm going to make myself smaller. We don't need to see my big old face on here. That's good enough. Okay. Can y'all see that okay? Let's make this scale to fit. Boom. Okay. So obviously missing since 8/29, 2009 from Ruth Falls, Wisconsin. I think she is beautiful. I really do. Oh, Heather, I love your pretty face. She has been one of my best friends throughout this social media experience, because I came from TikTok. I came from goofy, 30-second to 60-second videos. I think they have 3 minutes now, to YouTube. I call it the Compton of social media here because, brah, it is bananas. Some of the things that I've been called. And I'm noticing that the channel that will not be named, that doxes people, you know what they do? they add you and then they give you some uplifting comments. And then the one time that you say something or anything that might um, make them look bad, even if it's just an opinion, they will just destroy you and then share your content into their live or into their, videos, and just drag you through the mud so that you lose subscribers. And that's happened to me like throughout every day. Every day I have somebody do that to me. We probably know who that is. Probably because I put on YouTube that their bullshit ass um, change.org petition to basically silence people from having any kind of opinion about a missing persons case that's not theirs, whatever. Y'all can just kiss my white fanny. Anyway, so of course, Rose Bly was last seen leaving her residence en route to Cushing, a distance of 5 miles. Her car was recovered 5 days later in Grantsburg, Wisconsin, which I think is right down the street from Grandma's house, right? But I can check that and make sure that we have the facts on that. Typically used by truck drivers to park their tractor trailers. This parking lot is approximately 30 miles from her residence. Daddy, I have emailed Miss Lisa about any information, and I have not got a response back. I had a few questions like, did everybody pass their lie detector tests? What inconsistencies that you can give. Obviously, you can't give much, but is there anything that isn't out here in the interwebs that we could possibly know? And I haven't heard anything. I have requested all of the available investigation documents that we have a right to have as a citizen of the United States. I have submitted that to the FBI to get, detailed information that may not be readily available or that they just don't want to put on their website. And that takes a while. It can take up to 6 months. So we'll see how that goes. People probably already have it, but they're not going to share it with me. So you got to get yourself. Yeah. Just got sometimes I wonder if maybe she has been found in some way, but her body was decomposed or they couldn't get any DNA evidence. So I am looking to see any Jane Does in Wisconsin. To me, she would have to be pretty far out. You know what I mean? From where her car was. So let's see what they say about her on FBI. Nothing. Not a damn thing. So let's look at this article really quickly. Rose Bly's haunting last trip. Without a trace. How will this mystery be solved? Jean Campbell wrote this article. I always look up, and you as well should always look up who writes these stories. Because, for instance, there was a story about the hypocrisy of covering missing children's cases. And I was reading it and I was like, this sounds very, very one-sided. Who is this person and where are they coming from? Time News in Kingsport, Tennessee, friends of Robin Lane. So it would make sense, right? To question who you're getting these sources from. So she is a deep thinker. Hey, me too. Let's see where she's from. I just want to make sure that, if she's just an independent person that's not really directly related. Freelance writer. Okay. Like, is she from Wisconsin? That kind of looks like a Wisconsin background. Let's see. Contact me. She's just a freelance writer. Most popular. What does she do? True crime. Okay. So she's a true crime. I'm going to have to look her up because I'm always into reading stuff that I haven't, known about or haven't heard about. The House of Creeps, the haunted. Oh, she does haunted stuff. Cool. I am going to bookmark this bad boy. Miss Jean Campbell. I'm going to put you on YouTube. All right. So I'm assuming this is her dad. Yep. Rose Bly at high school graduation with her dad. Guys, if you come in, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please, please, please. I need 250 more people so I can get monetized to then put all of that money right to an organization that helps missing person and cold cases, the families of cold cases. Please, please subscribe and like. So anyway, Summer Wells disappeared last week. So she's integrating Summer Wells into this. No one has seen her. By startling coincidence, Bly vanished over a decade ago. Authorities have stated there is no connection. You don't know there's not a connection until you find these missing people, right? That's just me. How can you know for a definitive fact that there's no link? When the common denominator is the Blys. That's just me. Maybe I'm just being a little too mistrusting of the government. So let's look at that link real quick. And look, guys, I'm ADHD. You're going to be hopping around with me today. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. But I like to keep information from any source. I want to verify that it's 100% accurate and that their links are legit. Let's not play that, please. Okay. Investigators say there is no evidence that indicates the two cases are connected. According to the FBI, she was last seen, we already went over that. 5 days later, Bly's vehicle was found in a tractor-trailer parking lot. I thought it was an apartment complex. Right? Hold up. Hold the phone. Don't get it twisted, guys. I want to make sure. I thought it was a parking apartment complex. And an abandoned parking lot. So I guess that's right. Okay. My bad. Father of Summerwell says wife has passed lie detector test. I'm going to stick that to the side. The TBI says there's no evidence linking them. TBI, Lord help you, but okay. Okay. So at this time, News Channel 11 reached out to the Polk County, Wisconsin Sheriff's Office and submitted a public records request, which is what I did. Natalia, hi, sweetheart. Thank you for coming. It's okay. I'm late. I missed my own damn live last night. I was smooth passed out after putting my kid to bed. I was having a lot of pain in my shoulder and realized today that I tore a little bitty tear in my muscle that protects the rotary cuff in my shoulder. So I haven't been the best either. It's all good. So yes, the public records request for documents has been requested. I requested them. It says we are waiting on a response, but are told the investigation is still active and going. So basically they're not worried about us and our craziness to get back to us on, records requests. I really wish that I could find that picture of the car. Oh my God, look at this photo of Grandma. Hold on just a second. That's hilarious. It's not funny. I'm lying. It's wrong. It's rude. She's in pain, right? But woo-wee. That's a rough one. See if I can pull it over for you guys. Woo doggy, Grandma. Show that for summer. Show that for summer. Show that kind of emotion. Oh, give me just a second, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry. All right, so I'm going to click off of that. I'm going to still search for that picture. Oh, okay. That's a different one. So there's no definitive reason why TBI states that there is no connection. I like definitive answers. So daily updates continue to pour in regarding Summer's fate, although the news is never good and rehashes the same scant information. So they go over, what Dawn said, Summer would never leave our hill, right? She left, but she did somehow, whether it was voluntary or involuntary, which I highly doubt it was voluntary. Thank you, Raven, for subscribing. Y'all are making me hungry with this banana bread talk in the chat. All right. So going back to the beginning, heading out on a Friday night for a few drinks, she left home after supper with her husband and his father, which is, I believe, Michael something. I'll get back to that. I think I know, or I think I have it somewhere. But Michael and then his father. The last person who saw her was Christopher Larson. That was the guy she was seeing. Rose's destination was another tiny town, Cushing, just a few miles north. It was late August 2009, and the day had been seasonably cool with gusty winds and a portent of autumn on its way. Rose got behind the wheel of her car, a white 2001 Pontiac Grand Am, that's what it was, and began the 5-mile journey to Cushing at 7:30 p.m. She would drive through the barrens, an ecological oasis of stunted pine and oak forest clinging to sandy soil. On Friday night, the roads may have had a few more travelers than usual, but the area has never seen much traffic. She drove north on Highway 87, which remains unpaved until the 1950s. Her plan was to meet her cousin for a few drinks, but the cousin stated that she knew nothing of such plans. You know what I think, guys? This is my theory. It is just a theory. I think that she went to go meet someone for margaritas. And the reason why I say margaritas is because I did a reading on Rose Bly, and a man named Andrew came through in margaritas. She was going to meet someone for margaritas in Cushing, and she got gone between that drive. I believe that she met a destination or some destination and then was taken somewhere else and then her car disposed of. I truly think that this person is either a catfish from the ex because they were having custody problems, and it was, heard that he said that you'll never have these kids if you leave. A very threatening statement. No, the reading is not on here. The reading is on my computer. I'm more than happy to share that. I kind of try to keep my readings and this channel separate because I've had so much hate and so much craziness coming from, people who are very stout Christian on here that I get bashed and I lose a lot of followers, which get the hell out if you don't like me. You know what I mean? I started this channel with that in mind to integrate my readings, but I'm trying to get that following first and to get that subscriber up more, and then I'm going to pound that pavement hard. I just think it's a little too soon. And I'm also working on comparing readings that I've done with the facts that have come out, which I've got about a 70 to 80% success rate on that. But I want to wait on that. I'm going to take my time on it and first of all, get the hang of freaking YouTube and the streets of YouTube. It's been a nightmare. Raven said Rose died because she found out Candace had another baby, Josie. I don't know that. Why would she do that? Is it because she called CPS on Candace for the abuse and neglect of the kids that she had? Possibly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Rose Bly, or excuse me, Candace was in, where was it, Kansas or somewhere else, and not in Wisconsin at the time. So I don't know. That's what I want to find out. Okay, so the reading that I did states that she went out for margaritas, and that's when things went south. There was some information out in the interwebs that I can't confirm if it's true or not, but she had an argument with the friends surrounding her circle that was related to Mr. Larson, who she was seeing. They did have a domestic dispute, and she was actually charged, I believe, with either battery or something along those lines, or domestic violence or something like that. So they had fought before. And Chris McDonough even states that he would love to speak with Mr. Larson about what happened that night, but I highly doubt that he's going to come out and say anything. Yes, Farmer, to win, you have to have a very tough skin. At first, I didn't realize how bad the YouTube streets were, specifically in true crime. I thought, oh man, this is my favorite subject. This is going to be awesome. Oh my God, some days I'd rather eat rocks. So, anywho, getting off of the EVP sessions and all that stuff, the cousin says, I don't know nothing about those drinks. I don't know what you're talking about. Says that she's a small woman, 5 feet tall, and 110 pounds. That's pretty tiny. She had brown hair, dyed blonde or red frequently, and usually dressed casually since her main occupation was caring for 2 toddlers. And that's what breaks my heart, guys, that she has 2 kiddos that have no answers. She was described by everyone who knew her as a devoted mother. So 5 days after she drove off, her car was recovered 30 miles north in the town of Grantsburg, where Rose attended high school. So let's do a little mapperoo about all of these, all these places that her and her items went to, her car. Just a lot of traveling. Where was Christopher Michael Larson? Where was he? He was obviously cleared so far. Oh, gotta charge my headset. So so we're going to go to Falls. Sorry, just trying to. There y'all are. Let's do a direction 2. What did it say? I wonder where they went exactly. So then she was supposed to go to Cushing. And I'm just going to select like, oh yeah, that's 17-minute drive. Highway 87. Let's see what's going on in the bustling metropolis of Cushing. What's going on? The Dugout, Mini Mart. It still seems like it's a tiny place. Oh my gosh. Cushing is really legit tiny. This was in October. Oh, look, October 2008. Look at that. So I'm looking at around the time. Look at July. That's crazy. I forget that we can do this. What's this? So this was actually the time that she was missing. Don't think I won't search these roads and look for some random, random body or something out in these fields. I've done it with the Michael Vaughn case, going through the backwoods and going through all of the streets. Like, look, what is this? Now I'm going to be up for days looking at this. Is that a well? I'm sure they would have found something by then. I won't go down that road, but that's crazy that we can see it. Okay, so we need to... I just think that is the coolest thing. I'm going to save this to favorites. So what's the dugout? Woo, doggy, look how old-fashioned it looks, even to this day. I wonder how long this Tavern League of Wisconsin. Oh, hey, I'd go. I didn't know you could go into the damn bar on Google Maps. Did anybody know this? Did anybody know this? Yes, Karen, I will get to that, but I guess I'm naive because I did not know this was a thing. Oops. Oh well. I'm going to go to the little, I want to see this in October or, July of 2019. I guess I can't. Look at this. Look, okay, so here's 2008. I gotta pin this. Is there any way to see it? Nope. Okay. Wow. What is this? This is so cool. Google, you're the vein of my existence, but you're also kind of cool. Can't go down that street. All right. Interesting. We can go into the damn bar and see if there's anybody acting a fool. That's so crazy. All right, so let's go back. So it's only 17 minutes, right, from what we saw. And let's see how far it takes to get from Cushing to where she was last seen. And I'm just using, Cushing, like right in the middle of Cushing as a starting point, because why not? We don't know exactly where she was or where she was headed to. And actually, we actually need to start from the original destination, the original leaving point to Cushing, and then add a destination. Hey, man-child is home. Y'all stop it. So it says she drove through the barrens, an ecological oasis of stunted pine and oak forests. I love authors and their wonderful use of verbiage. On Friday night, the roads may have seen more travelers than usual, but the area has never seen much traffic. She drove north on Highway 87. What bar? I wonder what bar it was. At a local bar. Was it Susie Q's? I'm wondering if it was that Susie Q's, because I'm seeing here that Susie Q's in Cushing has been here for a hot minute. At least since 2011 when the page was created. So that might be the one. I didn't see any other ones. 30 miles. 5 days after she drove off, her car was recovered 30 miles north. Grantsburg, there it is. Grantsburg, Wisconsin. So a direct, straight-ish destination. I mean, it's straight up on 87. So maybe she really wasn't going to Cushing after all. Let's see. In a parking lot typically used by truck drivers to park their tractor trailers. Okay, so FBI has confirmed this. It's approximately 30 miles from her residence. So is that outside of Grantsburg? I'm sure that there is an exact location. Okay, so real quick, the couple had at least one domestic abuse incident, which played out around the time of Larson's initial divorce petition. It developed and said that She said scenario, he accused her of slapping him. She maintained he put her in a headlock and slammed her to the ground. That's some violence. Good Lord, y'all. Larson petitioned for divorce after the police came out to de-escalate the conflict, but the two reconciled shortly after, and the petition was withdrawn. So they had divorced. Oh, no. After they de-escalated the conflict, he petitioned for it. And then they withdrew it. Okay. So Bly had an active bench warrant for a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge, later amended to domestic abuse. So this is when they were throwing it down about the kids, because I think she was leaving him, and he was like, I'm not going to let you have the kids if you walk out of this relationship. She pled not guilty to this abuse charge in July of 2009, but due to her disappearance, the warrant, guys, it does not take an FBI agent to understand that when she pled not guilty to that charge in July and then became missing in what? August, right? It does not take a rocket scientist to know that those kind of issues with domestic violence and trying to get custody of your children, we know. All right, Mr. Larson, you're on the radar for sure. No doubt. So, after that, in 2010, Larson was granted sole custody of the two girls, according to a best friend from high school, Nicole Steele, who posted on the Help Find Rose Bly Facebook page. Rose said her husband had told her he would never let her take the girls. What's up? What? Oh no, the group is paused as of July 14th because of, I guess, summer. Wow. Oh no. Oh gosh, it just gets more insane. Oh, we're going to go down this Facebook rabbit hole too. Okay. But I got to jump back on here to make sure I hold myself accountable for not being a crazy loony and not continuing the story. So law enforcement has extensively interviewed Rose's ex-husband, friends, families. They didn't find any evidence of any unusual patterns in her life. But one fact isn't up for dispute. She was a caring mother who put her children first. Shandon says all these ladies need to learn how to use an iron frying pan. Girl, yes. If you don't have a cast iron skillet in your back pocket when needed, who are you? What are you doing? Now, don't be hitting y'all's husbands tonight because I said that. I did not mean it like that. I'm just saying, know where it's at. The Twin Cities Pioneer Press followed the story from its beginning and interviewed investigator Pete Johnson. I think I've heard that just from about everybody we talked to who shared the investigation, nobody believes that she would take off and leave her kids. Of course not. You have 3, Heather. I have one big one and one tiny one for like baking little small cakes or whatever. I love my cast iron skillet. Absolutely. All right. After Rose went missing, good old Grandis said, I wonder if she might have lost her way, perhaps because she had that head injury from falling off that horse. Because apparently Grandis said she had been getting headaches after she fell off a horse. I've fallen off a horse and it hurts. especially if it's a big horse. And I still made it to work, and I still made my life. You know, I guess it depends, but you would not go driving and just end up missing with your vehicle at a random trailer, abandoned trailer thing. I just don't understand why she would think that. There is no medical evidence, however, that Rose was mentally impaired. In the ensuing years, the theory of a disoriented woman wandering away has begun to look unlikely. I'm surprised it was ever even thought to be likely. Stop it. So on March 4th, 2021, Candace Herrera posted on the Help Find Rose Facebook group that authorities are not ignoring the case but haven't been giving out details to the public. Is this the Help Find Rose Facebook? Oh, okay. So let's go find it. Let's find it. Where you at, Grandma? What are all these people with the faces? Why are you posting your face on here? Look at everybody else saying, I'm going to try to find Rose Bly after Summer Wells went missing. So they're on the same page as me. Maybe we can find something relating to, Rose and Summer, and how we can find either one. Oh, Shannon, I am so sorry to hear that. It's awful. Ooh, these people are good. They're finding articles from the original post. I know that I can sort and find by month, but I don't want to do that right now. Oh my God, look how far back this goes. Look at her, guys. Aww. That's a young Rose. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but that's crazy. Oh, it's okay, 12-step. We're just going over Rose Bly because Mary said that she doesn't rule out Donnie being involved in Rose's disappearance. That's crazy to me. I don't even think Dawn was in Wisconsin, but I could be wrong. And yes, she did say that in a chat, responding to me, saying that maybe if we can find Rose, that maybe we can find Summer by the similarities between how they disappeared and they're not found. So just putting this back up here for anybody that came in. She did say that. How is everybody liking going through the Rose Bly case? Do you think that this is interesting to kind of go through and see what's been put out there? What do you think? I think this is fascinating to find all of the information out there. But yeah. I'm going to stick that in my back pocket. My digital back pocket. I have a folder for everybody that I've done research on. Everybody. There's Rose Bly right there. Hi, Not Your Worth. Wow. Bananas. So I wanted to find that post of Grandma, and I bet you it's taken down. Nothing. Admins control who posts and comments. So that post in March of 2021 isn't here. The one that Grandma supposedly posted, right? On March 4th, 2021, Candace posted on the Help Find Rose Facebook group that authorities are not ignoring the case, but have been giving out details to the public. So maybe They hid it. Let's type in Candace Herrera. There it is. I'm lying. We found it. I am in contact with the sheriff's office and they have updated me regularly as being her mother. They are not, nor am I releasing any information, and they are not ignoring the case. Wowzers. What is this? The rabbit holes. The rabbit holes that I'm about to go through. Lord help me. This is why I can't keep my ADHD brain focused, because there's just so much detail and so much information to go through. But in fact, Candace did put that on there. Hey, Candy. Where's your Facebook? Not accepting friends requests anymore. Thank you. Okay, moving on. The evening she left home for the last time, Rose was dressed casually, wearing flip-flops and light clothes. She had a pair of blue jeans and a white tank top. Now, here's the thing about my EVP session. I did confirm that did come through blue jeans and a white tank, along with a green sweater. I didn't get that. Nothing in her demeanor or behavior suggested she was taking a journey that would last longer than a single evening out. Again, I think that either she was catfished by her own man, and then that was when the fight ensued. Maybe Grandma was the catfish. This is all speculation for entertainment purposes only. Don't come at me. Maybe it was a group decision. Maybe it was because Rose Bly was outing out Candace Bly for being a terrible, abusive mother to her other two children because she was doing drugs and they were taken away. I don't know if that was before or after her. But just maybe, it was a group effort. Who knows? Just something to think about. Her vehicle was unremarkable and contained very little evidence. The car keys were never found. Rose didn't habitually use credit or debit cards, so there was no way to establish a paper trail of spending or transactions. Her cell phone records turned up 0 leads and corroborate Chris Larson's account that she called him that night. August 21st, the night she went missing, was the last time her cell phone had any activity. So obviously, someone had destroyed or turned off her phone. Or maybe it went dead. It happens. And that was that. Nothing about the vehicle except its abandonment was suspicious. DNA samples were taken from the Pontiac, but results have not been definitive enough to generate any persons of interest, much less a suspect, and never have been shared with the public. So I bet you there's DNA sitting there waiting to be tested against others. Donnie boy, maybe if we want to know if Donnie was involved, test his against that. I'm pretty sure they have. But we'll not. We won't know. Nothing. Oh, excuse me. The case investigation began with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, but as the leads dried up and the possibility of foul play emerged, local authorities asked FBI guidance to make sure they were digging in the right places. So speculation, just like with the Summer Wells case, just kept coming and going. I need to catch up with chat. Sorry, guys. Yes, please like and subscribe. Thank you, Heather. Speculation happened in the tiny communities. Some high school friends remember her being bullied as a teen, but most commenters send prayers for the family. Wow. Some community members state that Chris Larson, her ex-husband, is involved, despite a lack of evidence tying him to a crime. Others believe it's possible Rose could have had voluntarily left to start a new life. That is so far-fetched. She had 2 babies that she did love, apparently, from what people are saying. So why would she just up and leave without her children? The third option is that she encountered a stranger and fell victim to foul play, which could be. Or maybe it was a setup. Remember, in July of 2009, she had to plead not guilty to a domestic violence charge, domestic abuse charge. So there's motive for her when she has to go to trial to prove that that's the case or not, right? So to me, there's something iffy going on about maybe he was going to lose, Mr. Larson was going to lose custody because she was going to be able to prove that he was the one domestically abusing her. And it was just a reactionary thing to hit him back or whatever it may be, which I think that she was saying. She would never, I don't think that she would ever have left her kids from the reading that I've done. And I know that that's not evidence at all, but she loved her babies, guys. She loved her babies, and she hates that she can't be with them. These are all speculative crap. I think that the only one that makes sense is Chris Larson. That's my opinion. Speculation. No one is guilty until proven guilty by the court of law. They are innocent until proven guilty. Larson took a polygraph in late August, guys. So here's where it gets so weird. You saw he had posted a video at 6:05 on June 15th. Who posted a video? But I know that Candace did with Summer, right? On June 15th. Freaking ads. So the polygraph. Let's go over that. Would you not? Kidding me? I was just trying to see what it said about the... Larson told investigators about his intention to file for divorce. Ugh. Whatever. But it said he passed. And this was a week after Rose went missing. According to authorities, he is not a suspect. So, okay, let's just say he is innocent. He passed a polygraph without any drugs affecting his system to, bullshit his way through one. Let's just say that. What else is there? What else is going on within that crazy family that would make them, do this kind of thing? The only logical explanation that I can think of is Candace Bly. Because I don't even know, how old were her babies or baby when Rose got gone? Does anybody know? This was in 2009. So where was Candace Bly? I think she said that she was in Kansas. I'm looking. Plunder did something on 2 weeks ago.
Subscribe to Plunder.
Sure she'd be okay with it. Hold on. I don't want it to be an echo. I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute, guys. I think I'm going to get more fluid tonight about this. I want to revisit Rose Bly for sure, because I think that this is going to be, first of all, I think everybody needs to relax on the public relations of Dawn and Candace Wells. I think that we need to cool it. Don't give them any reason to make more drama. And let's kind of do something different, and let's really focus on Rose, because I really am pulled to this more so than I ever have been before. So what did Plunder say about it? Can you hear that? Ew. I never have internet problems, so this is weird. Okay, know your word. Thank you. That's so weird. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to jump back on that later on tonight. So please, please join me. I will make sure to make my live later. So I think to kind of tie this all together, the crazy ADHD brain of mine, it only makes sense that someone was kind of lazy about where to put her. Okay. Look how straight shot it is from where maybe she was, this is just a downtown St. Croix Falls area, going straight up to Cushing to go meet somebody, and then straight up to Grantsburg where her car was left. I mean, that's kind of, so it seems to me like it was kind of I think it was a planned thing. I really do. I think that somebody was a little lazy about it. And I still think that it's Mr. Larson or someone who knows Mr. Larson, and or the Blys, the Herrera, one of them. Somebody knows within the family dynamic what's going down here. And I'm going to do some more research on where Candace and Dawn were at this time. I'm going to make sure that I get all the facts before I come on here, because I was kind of blindsided by the amount of information out there. I wasn't really sure how much there would be, and there is a ton. So I'm going to line up the facts, and then we can kind of go through it and see what we think about it. Because if we possibly can help find Rose Bly, will that give enough information to find out what happened to Summer Wells and where she is? I really truly have been pulled by this since learning about Rose Bly. The first day I heard about it, I knew that was going to help. And the more and more I heard about it, I was just convinced that if we help find Rose Bly, which she deserves to be found, she had 2 children that do not know where she is. And Chris from the interview room is working on this. I think that this is going to definitely help, because we cannot obviously commit to the fact that just because Don Wells has turned himself in, I'm assuming that that's going to just break the case wide open. It could. But even if all of that kind of points towards finding Summer, Rose Bly deserves to be found. Her kids deserve that closure, right? So I'm going to hop back on here it's 4 o'clock my time Central. I'm going to hop back on here at 9:30 or 10 Central. If you guys are awake and alive and want to join in on that conversation, please do. It would be wonderful to get your side of things. I think that let all of the other channels have their Summerwells and the drama that comes with it. I hope that some of those channels find some news breaking worthy things to send to TBI, but I'm going to focus on Rose because that could inadvertently help with Summer. So I'm going to look at the chat and see like what's going on here before I go. Candace said they were between Arkansas and Tennessee. Karen, thank you. That's what I thought I heard, that they were going in between. And I did verify that she was in Arkansas around 2011. So that makes sense, or 2010, like the last time they've seen her at a residence. I've seen that on her background check. So I thought Don said that he was potentially going to turn himself in for the DUI or his probation. I'm not really sure. I didn't catch all of that, but Cher posted something about that he was possibly going to turn himself in soon about something. Thank you, Heather. You go have fun with your man, and I'm sure I'll hear from you later tonight. But again, everyone, thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already before you leave. And I will possibly see you tonight. Let's go over the Rose Bly case. Ciao.